Hi, good evening, everyone. We will be starting in next 1 or 2 minutes. Meanwhile, you all can set up your sessions. Today's session is on Subfile Part 2. And one more thing, I think most of you are already joining a Skype group. You have already joined a Skype group. So if not, then please join that. And you can ask your queries there daily at 6:30 p.m. We are arranging daily calls at 6:30 p.m. So you can join there.
Session. So first we will cover what is subfile and what is Windows subfile and the basic process of Windows subfile. So before discussing the Windows subfile, first we will discuss about the subfile. So subfile are used in display file programming to allow programming to handle list of data more easily. Like you have gone through already from display file session. So in display file session, you have already seen that we can perform operations on one record. But what if we want to show our data or display our data in tabular format? Or if we want to perform the operations on multiple records. So for that, we can use the subfile. And to create a subfile, we will use the strsda command, and also we can take option 17. So after that, we will discuss what is Windows Subfile. So in Windows Subfile, also we can perform the operations on multiple records, but the difference is that we can include the dimensions of the window in rows and column format. And a Windows subfile functions exactly like a normal subfile, but the difference is how the screen is displayed. And like subfile, it also have two record format. The first one is control record format, and the second one is buffer record format, in which we will load the data. Then what is the basic process of Windows subfile? So first we will clear the Windows subfile control record format, and after that we will load the Windows subfile, and after that we will display the data from this subfile buffer. So now we will look the programs for that. So firstly we have to create one display file. So for that we can do the option F6, and after that we can give here the name like sample D, and the type is DSPF. So if we want to create a PF, then we will give here the type DSPF. And if we want to create a RPGLE program, then we can write here RPGLE. But right now we want a subfile and Windows subfile. So for that we have to write here the type DSPF, and after that press enter, and we have to file this file. So we can see that our sample D file is created, and after that we can open this by using strsda command. And here we have three options. So by taking option 1, that is design screens, we can open our display file. So here we can give the member name. So we want to design the screens for sample D. And in first row we can define our source physical file, and in second row we can define our library. And here our display file is open. So to add any new screen, we have to take option 1. After that we have to write here the name, like prompt, and here we have to write the type of the record format. So for display file, for normal display file we will use the record type, and for subfile we will use the SFL type, and for window we will use the window, And for Windows Subfile, we will use the wdw sfl type. After that, pressing enter. So like I have already mentioned in my PPT that uh, for Windows Subfile and Subfile, we have two record format. So first one we have already defined, that is prompt, and second one is control record format. So I will give here the prompt ctl, and after that we have to take again enter. So we will decide the dimensions of our Windows subfile. So for that, we have to press here the Y in select record keywords and the general keywords. No, in general keywords, we have to press here the option Y for select parameters, and here we can define our dimensions. So in first column, we can see that the description is start line. So it means that from which line we want to start our Windows Subfile border. So like you can see, if I want to start my Windows Subfile from uh, fifth line. So I will write here the 5, and in fifth line from position 15, I want to uh, create the border. So I will write here the 15, and how many lines we want in our Windows subfile. So let's say if we will take 10 lines and the position is like 35. You can also customize your dimensions according to your reference, and after that we will take here enter and enter. And after that we will define here the indicators for our Windows subfile. So in subfile also, like you have seen that we have four indicators. The first one is subfile display, the second one is display control, the third one is clear, and the fourth one is more indicator. So from display indicator, if we will write here the Y in display indicator, then it will display the buffer part, the data part of our Windows subfile. And if we will write here Y in subfile display control, then it will display us the control format of our Windows subfile. So I will take here the indicator, let's say 50, and for display control 51, and for clear 52, and for more 53. Why? After that, we can see our subfile. So the border is created that we have defined in our dimensions. So after that, we can define here our constant fields. So in our subfile, we have control format and data format. And if we want to write any string or constant field, then we can write that part in our control part. And if we want to write any data, then we can write the data in SFL record format. And also, like if you have defined the constant or string at this position, like uh, yo, and we can align it center by taking option AC, so it is aligned in center. So if I have written here the programmers.io at 13th line, then only we have this part for our data. We can't write our data in this part because it is allocated to control part. And if we will try to write any data in this part, then it will give us one error. Let's say if I have defined here si5, and in SFL, if I will define here the data part in control format, then it will give us the error that subfile fields overlay the control record, because this screen is allocated to control part, and we can delete those fields as well by taking option D, E and D. So it is the basic layout for our Windows subfile, and I have created one sample program for better understanding of subfile and Windows subfile. So first I will take this in debug mode, and after that I will show you the Windows subfile and subfile program. First I will call this program and show you that how this program will function. So it is our basic subfile in which I have defined the ID, name and state, and we will add the record by taking option F6, and here we will write here the ID, let's say 56, and name, let's say Himanshu. And for state I have used the Windows subfile, so I will take here the option F4 for prompt. So after taking option F4, it will show us one Windows subfile in which the four state is defined, and we can select these states by taking option 1. Let's say, then it will auto populate it in state field, and we can confirm it by taking option F8, and this record will be added in our subfile. Now we will debug our program and see how this program will work. So for that we will take option 14 and take our program in source debug. Give me 1 second. Yep, so it is our program. Now we will take our program in source debug, and after that we will write here the debug command, that is strdbg, and after that we will take option F4, and we will write here the program name, and after that the library, and update production file as star yes and opm as star yes, and we will set here the breakpoint and resume this process and call our program. So first I am showing you the programming of subfile, and after that in between our subfile while adding the records we will see our Windows subfile as well. So like I have already explained that in subfile or Windows subfile we have basically uh, three process, that is clearing the subfile, and after that we will load the subfile, and after that we will display the subfile. So first we will clear our subfile. So it will first turn on the indicator 52 that I have defined in my display file. So you can see in my display file, well, 8 and general keywords. I have defined here the 50 indicator for display, 51 for display control, 52 for clear, and 53 for end. So here by this line, it will turn on the indicator 52 and it will clear the control part of our subfile. So after clearing the control part, we will write here the control part again, and we will set our RRN to the 0 position, and we will turn off the indicator 52. After that, I have also performed the position to field in my subfile. So first I will check that if position ID is equal 0, then it will execute the subroutine load SFL. And if my position ID is not equal to 0, then it will execute the subroutine load position SFL. So right now my position ID is equal 0, so it will execute the normal load. I am setting the pointer to the lowest location of the physical file. So after that, I am reading my first record, and will read the first record. And after that, I am reading all the records till my end of file is reached. So for that, I am using the %EOF indicator in do while loop. And after reading the first record, it will uh, it will assign the ID value to the SID field, and our SID field is a subfile field. And after that, it will assign the name in subfile name. After that, it will assign the state value in subfile state, and we have assigned the 0 value to our RRN. And if we will write any record while RRN is 0, then we will face the session device error. And also if we will write the records greater than tetra 9, then also we have to face the session or device error. So after reading the first record, I will increase my RRN to RRN plus 1, and after that I am writing my first record in my subfile. Is written, and after that it will again read this second record, the next record. Now it will read the second record, and we can check the RRN value, that is 2. That means 2 record is fetched from our physical file. So like this we will fetch all the records from our physical file. So our all records were fetched in our subfile, and after that we will perform the display subroutine. So it will execute the display subroutine, and in display subroutine, first I will turn on the indicator 51, that is display control indicator, and here I am checking the RRN value that should be greater than 0. If we will we will get the RRN value equals to 0, then we have to turn off our display part, that is buffer part. So I will turn on the indicator 50, because our RRN value is greater than 0, and we can check the RRN value by taking option F11 in RRN uh, field, and also we can do here the EV RRN. By this also we can see the value of RRN. And if my RRN value is 0 or less than 0, then it will turn off the display indicator. After that, I am writing the footer, and I am executing the control screen. So you can see the data in our subfile. So this data is written from our load subroutine, and after that it will display the data and whole subfile. So after that we will take here option F6 for adding new records. and we will continue our debugging by taking option F10. So like you have seen, I have defined the F6 indicator for add screen. So if my F6 indicator is on, then first I will turn off the indicator F6 and I am executing the add record indicator, add record subroutine. And we can define our we can define our indicators in record format. So by taking option 8 in select record keyword, here we can define the our indicators, and here we have two options for defining the keywords. The first one is CA, which means command attention, and the second one is CF, that is command function. So here I have used the CA indicator because I don't want any value to be returned from previous screen. So if we want to retrieve any value from previous screen to the next screen, then we will use the CF indicator instead of CA. Now we will go into the add record subroutine. So first it will clear the screen, and after that it will display our add record window. So here also I have applied validations for a blank ID. So if I will press here the enter, then it will go into the validation subroutine, and it will check that if AID is equal 0. So we have pressed the enter button without entering any value in ID field. So it will show us the error message that ID cannot be blank, and it will turn on the indicator star IN41 that I have defined in my display file. So I will show you where it is declared. So after defining my ID field, I will take here the star and press option enter, and after that I will write here the Y in display attributes, and here I have defined the indicators reverse image and position cursor. So what position cursor will do, if my indicator 41 is turned on, then it will go the cursor will go on the ID field. And what reverse image will do, if I got any error on that field, then it will highlight that field from neon color, from green color. So here I have turned on the 41 indicator, that means position cursor and reverse image is turned on. So and also it will give us the error. So it will display the screen, and here you can see that the position cursor and reverse image is turned on, and we got this error that ID cannot be blank. So after that I will write here one valid ID, like let's say 20, and the name is like Ankit, and in state field I have defined the Windows subfile. So for that I am pressing F4 button on state field. Then again it will go into the validation subroutine and check if AID is equal 0, but we have defined the ID. Again it will check that the ID is already present or not in our physical file. So it is not present, then it will check for name field, and if the star IN04 is equal star on. So like we have pressed the F4 functionality on state field. So to perform this functionality, we have to write the return cursor location keyword in our physical file. Now I will show you in display file where we have to write this return cursor location. So we will press the F4 button on add record window, and in add record window we will press the F4 button on state field. So here first I will define the return cursor location keyword, and it will take the three parameters, that is record name, cursor record and cursor field. And after that we have to define here the cursor record and cursor field also. So we can check in our cursor field that if cursor field is equal a state. So our field name is a state. So it will go into this if block, and it will turn off the indicator, and it will execute the state subroutine. Now our Windows Subfile subroutine is comes. So first it will clear our Windows Subfile, then it will load our Windows Subfile, then it will display our Windows Subfile, and then we will execute the option subroutine in our Windows Subfile. So first I am checking for clearing the Windows Subfile. So like normal subfile, it will clear the control format of our Windows subfile. So first I will turn on the 52 indicator that I have defined for clear functionality, and I will write the control format again, and I will clear the RRN value to 0, and again I will turn off the 52 indicator. So our clear subroutine is executed. After that, we will execute our load subroutine. So in load subroutine, first I am setting the pointer to the lowest value of our physical file. So by star lowell keyword, it will set the pointer to the first record of our physical file. So first it will set the pointer on the first record, then it will read the first record from our physical file, and after that I am reading all the records from my physical file using star EOF indicator, and I am setting the value that is state. The state is the column of our state PF physical file, and the W state field is the field of Windows subfile. So it will populate the state value in our Windows state field, and I am increasing my RRN value that I have already defined in previous subfile, and I'm writing the data into the data part, and again I'm reading the second record. It will read the all the records from our physical file. After that we will execute the display subroutine. So for display subroutine, I have turned on the 51 indicator. That is our display control indicator. And after that, I am checking again for RRN value is greater than 1. So we will check the RRN value as well by taking option F11 on RRN field. So our RRN value is 4. So it will turn on the 50 indicator. That is our display indicator. And it will display us the data part. And it will uh, execute the window control record format. So here you can see that all the values of our state physical file is populated in this state window subfile, and after that we can choose here the any state by taking option 1 in front of any state field. So if I will take here the option 1 on Rajasthan and press enter, then it will go into the option subroutine. So in option subroutine, we will check that the RRN value is greater than 1, and then we will do the readc command. So readc command will show us the changed record. Like if we have changed any record uh, from the previous screen to the existing screen, then it will uh, execute by readc command. And if our WOPT is equal 1, then it will populate the W state value to the A state value. Our uh, W state field is of Windows file, and A state field is of our add screen state field. Now I'm checking here for option F12. Like if we have pressed the option for previous screen, then it will leave our subroutine, and it will execute the add record window format. So here you can see that our Rajasthan value will be populated from the state Windows file. And after that, we will take here the option F8 for confirming the record. And it will again check for all validations. And here I am checking that if I'm not getting any error message and my F8 indicator is turned on, then it should add the record to our subfile and to our physical file as well. So here I am assigning the add record values to my physical file fields. So in ID field, I have assigned the AID value, that is 20, and in name field, I have assigned the value, that is Ankit, and in eState field, I have assigned the value, that is Rajasthan. And after that I am writing the record in our physical file. So for performing any write operation or delete operation or insert operation in our physical file, we have to write here the record format of our physical file name. So the record is written in our physical file, and we can also check by doing run query. So run query. And you can see that the 20th record is added in our physical file. So now I have added the record in our physical file, but I have changed one record in our physical file. So again, it will clear, load and display our subfile. and we can see that the 20th record is added in our subfile. After that, I will take here option F3 for exit. And it will check in our loop that if star in03 is equal star off, then it will go out from this loop and our program is completed successfully. So thank you for joining.
So that's all for today's session. So thank you everyone. Thank you to join. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.